think Glenn's proposal primarily focuses really on nation-state-backed or foreign-backed threats rather than domestic. Domestic-based threats present a whole series of constitutional issues that make Glenn's proposal a little bit more challenging to move forward with. I want to start off kind of with the thought experiment of how to more effectively enhance the ability of the U.S. government to assist the private sector and individuals really with protecting themselves from cyber attacks. I will say that I am weary of wanting to provide NSA in particular with such open access to U.S. networks in the absence of judicial oversight. I do tend to share a view that one of the limitations that the private sector has in responding to cyber attacks is the inability to use offensive tactics without beginning to run into legal impediments, violating criminal laws such as the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. There, to me, there does seem to be a role for the U.S. government in taking a more proactive, offensive role in protecting the United States, its businesses, and its people from foreign nation-based cyber attacks. Unfortunately, in my view, over the years, the FBI and the NSA have shown consistently that they are limited in their ability to police themselves when engaging in warrantless surveillance. Warrantless bulk collection, even of IP addresses or metadata, will necessarily lead to privacy and civil liberties harms. And we have to really, I think, rethink the collect-it-all approach, which has limited utility to prevent cyber attacks. Indeed, if we were to use the proposal that Glenn sets forth, really in a political article, and he summarized here, or a collect-it-all approach, this wouldn't have helped prevent SolarWinds or other zero-day exploits. It wouldn't solve ransomware attacks. It wouldn't solve attacks where a company signs or approves the cyber attack. There are better, more proven ways to prevent cyber attacks, both foreign and domestic. What might those be? Patching, firewalls, zero trust framework, multi-factor authentication, backups, educating the public, educating industry on the need to take these proven, improved efforts to overall augment our cybersecurity posture would be a better way. We all know that about 85% of networks are owned in the United States are owned by the private or operated by the private sector, not the government. Now, interestingly, there's 15% or so that's left by the government. And I do think there's a real role in whether it's the NSA or the FBI, paying a little bit more attention to, or DHS, paying a little bit more attention to government networks and the activity that's taking place on those government networks, because we might be able to use that in many ways as a canary in the mine to sort of highlight issues that may ultimately end up impacting the private sector. And SolarWinds is one example where the United States government was a victim, but it was not the only target or even necessarily the direct target of it. It was a much broader attack based, nationally and even potentially globally. But I do find it hard to see how packet sniffing is going to help identify many of the challenges that we faced. And just last week, Microsoft discovered a cyber attack, alerted the government yet again, and is working together with the government to address it. This public-private partnership, public-private information sharing is a step in the right direction and does appear to be a model that could help us. Unfortunately.